Can you guys hear me? Type in the chat if you can hear. If you want me to go over some charts, I can definitely go over some tickers that y'all want. Just type them in the chat. It's first live stream here, so bear with me trying to get this going. Can you hear me? Someone type in the chat. Can y'all hear anything right now? If not, I could mess with my audio a little bit. Audio, desktop. Someone let me know if y'all can hear me before I start doing this. Someone let me know if y'all can hear me. Alright, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me. I'm gonna just go ahead and start going over some things. Here's SPY right here. Got a Fibonacci retracement. Now I can explain kind of these the theory behind the Fibonacci retracement levels. Okay, bet. If you guys like me to go over any tickers in particular, just type them in the chat. I can do just a general technical analysis. I can do some options flow, just whatever y'all like, or if y'all maybe like me to talk about some of my indicators that I use, scripts, maybe some scanners. I shared that inside candle scanner the other day. I can kind of pull that up. Let me go ahead and pull that up actually. Kind of show y'all that. So this is a scanner on Thinkorswim. I can go ahead and scan right here, and it's basically just going to scan out of a watch list that I have up here. It's a pretty large watch list. So far we only see UPS and CRM. We can check those out and see what those are looking like. UPS, and we'll do CRM. All right, so basically an inside candle is, I'll try to explain this before on Twitter, but I know it's a little hard to do a full kind of like explanation on Twitter, especially when I only have so many characters for each tweet. But you can see right here, the reason my candles are these specific colors is because I'm using a indicator called Strat Assistant. There's a bunch of different kinds of strat scripts out there that you can use. They're all free. They all pretty much do the same thing. I just kind of like this one. You can see it automatically marks the previous day's high and low. And basically, so a yellow candle means it's an inside or a number one candle. And an inside candle just means that it's staying in between the previous day's high and low. So I'll zoom in here. You can see it didn't even wick above it. If it wicks above it, then it's no longer an inside candle. Any of these twos, a two basically just means, so if it's going to be a two up, like in this case, right here, this green candle is considered a two up because it knocks out, it goes higher than one of the wicks. So if it's a two up, that means it goes higher than the upper wick. You can see the price action went above here. And if it's a two down, for example, right here, this two down candle, it knocked out the lower wick of this previous candle before. Now we also have three candles. These are outside candles, usually marked in purple for me. And that basically just means that it is larger than the previous candle's high and low. So usually a pretty volatile day there. Like for example, if we look over here on Disney, we have this really big three down candle right here. But as far as inside candles, the reason why I like to play them so much is just because you can usually expect volatility, and you don't even necessarily have to guess whether it's going to the upside or the downside. You can play either way. So when I normally will post on Twitter, say a call trigger, well, all that is, so for this one, say I was going to play UPS tomorrow, or I was planning to, right? So we can see we have an inside candle. So our call trigger would be the previous day's high, which is 188.70 cents, and then the low is 185.80 cents. So essentially, you know, say tomorrow it opens up, you know, within these bounds, and then you get strong momentum passing above the previous day's high. Well, that would technically be considered your call entry, and you can basically just set your targets from previous highs. You can see, okay, yeah. So Disney was one of the ones I was kind of watching, I believe yesterday. This inside candle, I was looking for either a 212 continuation, which is that's what ended up happening here, or you can also get a 212 reversal. And I'll go ahead and show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Let me pull that up right now, because there's a whole chart basically of these, they call them strat combos that you can kind of essentially look out for. I'm about to pull that up right now. Give me 1 second. All right. So we can look right here. These are basically just a bunch of different combinations using the strat. 212, we got bullish reversals, bearish reversals, continuation patterns. It's definitely important to have this saved somewhere if you're trying to come up with plays using the strat. So for example, let me show you the chart again. So I was looking for a 212 continuation, most likely just because you can see it was kind of already reversing from this low of 169. We were already up $6 from that low. We had a 312 bullish reversal as well. So usually with twos, you can kind of look to see for a 222 continuation. You normally don't try and do trying to think the best way to explain this. So if say you're looking for a specific strat, that's not the idea you're trying to go for. You want to look for something that's already there. So for example, not saying this will happen tomorrow, but for this ticker right here, we have a 2-1. So we can go ahead, come back over here, look for 2-1. So basically we need to already have 2 of the candles, and we're guessing what the third candle is going to be based off of those previous 2 candles, right? So we have a 2-1. It could be a bearish reversal. So the entry would be at the low of the inside candle right there, and your target would be the low of the previous 2 previous candles before that. And basically you can keep getting your targets by looking at those other wicks. So I'll go ahead and show y'all right here. We got the horizontal ray tool. So tomorrow, say we open up inside this 1 candle at first, we want to look for change this to red. I'll show y'all exactly what I'm talking about and basically how I come up with these plays that I post. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark, and these values might be a little off, but I normally go in manually and make sure that they're correct. So we have these targets right here. You can see we're already kind of at a high. So yes, it can continue upwards, but I'm thinking it has more of a higher chance of going down. So these are my targets right here. So if we open up tomorrow within this 1 candle, if we break underneath this 279 level, then I would look for a test to the next red level, which is the day before that low of 278. And then if we break below that, then we would have a big gap down. Not necessarily a gap down, but the next target to look for would be a test 266. And not all the time is the target going to be hit, but those are just kind of ideas on how we could get those targets. Does anyone want me to do any tickers, technical analysis? I can do some, let's see, I can explain my indicators. Like I said, I usually use moving averages, the strat. I use Bollinger Bands. I actually kind of have a custom Blimmy Bands that I like to use from another trader. Okay, I'll just go ahead and look for some plays of some other stocks I like to play. Let's see, AMD. Let's check out Palantir, and let's check out Lucid. All right. So quickly looking off the bat, you can see I already have a bunch of lines. Let me go ahead and delete some of these just so y'all don't get confused. So for Facebook, there's a 3-2 right here. We can look for our combinations to see if that's fitting anything. 3-2. There's a 3-2-2 bearish reversal. Let's see. Sometimes you don't actually have a combination that you can play, but you basically look for something that has the exact combination and you play it off of that. So I can show y'all. I'm trying to think what ticker to look for. I haven't done my research tonight yet. Snap? Yeah, I can do Snap. Or NIL, I'll do that one first. NIO. Alright, and I normally do kind of like I mentioned before on one of my videos, I like to look at things with different perspectives. So first I might look at the strat on the daily chart. We can see today we had an outside candle. Sorry if these wicks are a little hard to see. Something I do want to talk about real quick is what this means. I know it probably doesn't make sense to much of y'all, but essentially, so we have a daily, a weekly, a monthly, and a quarterly, right? And you can see these arrows and whether they're green and up or red and down. You normally want to play something that has full continuity, which basically means it's all green or all red. You don't always get that, but if we look over here on Lucid, it's almost full bullish continuity. The quarterly is expected to be red. So basically, if we're looking to play, say, Lucid, you would kind of use the direction of a full continuity. But anyways, on NIO, we have an outside candle right here. Nothing popping out to me on the strat. One thing to keep in mind when playing the strat, if there's a 3 candle, always wait until the next candle plays out, because a lot of times it's going to be an inside candle. There won't be much movement. We want to play the breakouts. So let me show y'all Thinkorswim's chart so I can kind of show y'all what I mean by getting different perspectives. All right, let me pull up the daily. Hopefully y'all can see everything good quality and stuff. Some of these lines are from when I was day trading earlier or previous charts. So one thing I want to mention is my moving averages. So I normally try and make it pretty clear on Twitter which average is which color, but the more y'all keep up with me, y'all kind of know without me having to say it. I normally run for my long-term EMAs. I have the 9, the 50, 100, and then the 200 EMA right here. So looking at NIO, we can see that we're underneath all EMAs. We just closed above the 9 EMA today. So I'm pretty bearish on this just looking at this chart. I don't see anything that sticks out immediately to me. And the big thing to know is you never want to force a play. So I'm not sure what makes you want or makes you interested in NIL. Maybe, you believe in them long term as an investment, or maybe you saw another trader tweet about it. I always say do your own DD. Even if I'm calling something out, pull it up on your chart, see if it makes sense to you and if you agree with it. Some of the indicators I like to use are the RSI. It's a very helpful indicator as far as determining whether you're overbought or oversold. Underneath 50 is kind of like the middle point. So if you're under 50, it would be kind of on the more of the bearish side. If you're over 50, it'd be more on the bullish side. You can see right here on this peak where it's red, it was above 70, so that would be considered overbought. So a lot of times that kind of be used as a sell signal. So if we look up here, it did peak out right here and then started drastically decreasing down here and tested the 200 EMA and went from 55 to around $40, which is a pretty big dip. So I like to use the RSI a lot. And if you're not using volume on your charts, it's very important to keep in mind, because volume is what's really going to drive the price. You want people to be actively buying and selling these shares, otherwise it won't really be moving much. You'll have a lot of consolidation. So for example, you can see pretty much the past month or so it's been sideways, very sideways. You want to play something like this that's moving. Even if it's this right here is a pretty big move, whether you're swinging options or you're just shorting a play, it's really up to you. But in terms of just analyzing NIO, something I always like to do is I'll do a Fibonacci retracement, and if you don't know what that is, I can definitely explain it a little bit more in depth. So if I do my Fibonacci retracement level from this previous high to the low, that's basically me assuming that this is the floor, right? It definitely could go lower, but if this is the floor, then these are the levels that we want to watch out for, right? I'll change this to yellow so it's a little easier for y'all to see. So with Fibonacci, this is completely technical analysis. A lot of people don't believe in technical analysis. They kind of think that, only news is going to move the stock or only volume is going to move the stock. And that's true, but technical analysis can help you basically determine the direction or maybe price targets. So for example, Fibonacci is just specific increments, percentages of a high and a low. So y'all saw me draw this from this high to this low, right? So this percentage is 23% retracement from this level, and 100% retracement would be back at the higher, correct? So there's kind of some key levels that you usually keep in mind when it comes to the Fibonacci. Big levels to watch for are the 38%, 61%, and the 78%. And it can definitely go past those, but so if we assume that this is a floor, right? If this is the floor, then not only is the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA lined up with a 23%, but we are closing above the 9 EMA. So if we can sustain some bullish momentum, it's likely that we'll at least see a test here. Now, will it break above this level? We don't know. But we treat these lines right here, these Fibonacci levels, as resistance until they're broken. So say this starts rising up to this 39, 37 level. We might very well get a sharp rejection, and that's basically going to tell us that it is acting as resistance. But if it breaks through, then we would then treat the previous resistance line as a new support level. So it might break through, say, and try and test this 100 EMA, right? Get rejected and bounce back down. Well, we would look for it to hold support. If it doesn't hold support at this level, then it's likely that we might see some downside. So as far as NIO, I don't have much to say here. I don't see anything that sticks out in particular. I could do some options flow hunting, but I want to kind of show y'all basically why I like to use Fibonacci and kind of how it plays out. So if I show y'all SPY, and I'll do snap right after this. I want to kind of explain this because I use this a lot in my analysis. Let me get rid of some of these lines. Yeah, don't mind those. I was day trading earlier. All right. So this is a Fibonacci retracement that I have set up on SPY, and I actually posted two different Fibonacci retracements. I have one on Thinkorswim, and this one is from this high to this low. So 100% retracement from this is the low from right here, and you can see that we actually fully retraced past the 100%. We wicked hard down here. Pretty much caught support on this 100 EMA right here. So, and then we can see we are able to close above this 100% right here. So the fact that we're able to close above the 100%, I would then look for 436.12 as being a new support level, right? So we're at 100%. The next line to look at is 439.96, or we can just call it 440, right? And you can see we actually wicked hard and rejected that level this day that we tried to test it. So we can still see that it was a resistance level. And then the next day we pretty much opened up right underneath it, and we were able to break it. Once we broke this 78% Fibonacci level right here, let me delete this line as well. Once we broke this level, we were able to test the next level, which is 61.8%. And remember how I told y'all 61.8% is one of the key levels that we like to keep an eye on. So we're kind of consolidating right here. Not too much movement. I had posted that I was watching for a break above. Well, not necessarily a break above. That I was watching this level, 442.97, which is a 61% Fibonacci. You can see we actually closed underneath this level. And this is kind of telling me it's a little on the bearish side, at least from my opinion. We have high wicks. Sorry, there's some other drawings in there. We have a wick up, and we closed underneath that level. So we are above the 9 EMA and the 50 EMA. But if we cannot break above this 443-ish level, then I can expect some downside, at least to test this 50 EMA at a 441.37. It's only about $1 difference, but when we're trading options on SPY, small differences or small changes of say like 50%, depending on the day, whether it's same day expiry or maybe you have 2 days expiry left or whatnot, the volatility will change, but you can make a large percentage gain on small moves like that. But that's not necessarily what I'm looking to play. I would look to play a rejection on this 443 level, then to test the next Fibonacci level at 439 or 440. So it's really up to you how you play it, but they kind of act as key levels of support and resistance. Essentially, you think about it this way. A lot of people use the Fibonacci retracement indicator, and if I'm not the only one seeing this, think about hundreds of thousands of others traders using this tool, right? They're going to do the same thing I did, a low to a high. They're going to get the exact same Fibonacci levels, and they're going to go off the same info that I'm going off of, correct? So if I know that 38%, 61, and 78% are key levels to watch, so do these other traders. So, you know, everyone will have their own opinion, but we are using the same information to make our decision. So that's kind of what actually, kind of what makes these work, the technical analysis aspect. I'm going to go ahead and go over Snap. I know y'all requested it. If there's another one y'all would like me to go over, I can definitely do that. Sorry, I didn't see much with NIO. I can do some options flow on that if you'd like me to. But here on Snap, looking on the daily, we can see we have some bullish momentum coming here. Let me delete this. Bullish momentum coming here. We're above the 9 EMA and all the other EMAs. If I wanted to do a Fibonacci retracement, I could try and do something like this high right here down to right here, right around this level. So you can see we're a little bit underneath the 100% retracement. We did break above, but it was not able to hold. So I'm looking for $80.85 to be a strong resistance right here. But if we can break above and hold that as support, then I would look for this next Fibonacci level at 87.58 cents. So you might be asking, well, why is it 161%? It actually goes further. There's different levels, 261, 423, and these are kind of how traders get future targets. So if they're bullish on something, maybe they think it's reversing from a floor, right? Let's treat this as the new floor. We don't know if it's the floor, but we have to make assumptions. So if we're treating that as the new floor and we're bullish on this, at least medium to long-term bullish, we can look at these targets for long-term targets. So if, like I said, if we can hold above 80.85, then we can look to test 87.58. That's where I would expect the next level of heavy resistance. And if we break above that, then same thing applies with all the other Fibonacci levels. If we break above this, we would look for this to hold as support and this to be our next resistance line. Let me pull up Snap on TradingView. Let's check out the strat on that one. See if we can find anything. All right, we got an inside candle here. Okay, so if we're playing the strat, we have a 2-1. So let's go ahead and look at our combos. We have a 2-1 combination right now, so more than likely it's going to be another 2. It doesn't always play out this way, but this is how we play the strat. So if it's going to be a 2-1-2 bearish reversal, we enter at the low of the inside candle, and our target is the low of 2 candles before that one. and vice versa, just playing the highs. So let me show you how I get my targets here. Put this over here. Oh, that's red. Let's do the bottom first. So I'm gonna play out some targets right here. This is actually entry, since this is today's candle. So tomorrow we're gonna open up, right? We don't know where we're gonna open up. We closed at around $80, right? So I'm thinking more than likely we'll probably open up inside this. I think we'll open up a little higher than $80, but we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. The thing with the strat is you don't necessarily want to force a play. You want to react to the price, right? So say this moves down and we break underneath the low of this candle, say around 79.50ish, correct? So if we break down here, we would then look for the next day's low as a target. If we break that, we would then look for the next day's low as a target. And that's how I'm always getting my targets. So basically how I would play this, if I was gonna play snap, I could come over here, set an alert. All you have to do, since this is the alert being set if it passes above the high, I'm gonna do crossing up. The value I put is the high of this candle, right? 82.61. Let's put that. I do every time because sometimes it can break above, fall back underneath, and then break back again. So it'll basically alert you every single time. And it's only for one day as well. So Tuesday, it'll end at Tuesday around midnight. And I'll put call trigger. Alright, that's my call trigger set. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the put trigger. We want this to be alerted when it's crossing underneath the low. The low of today is 79.32, right? Put that 79.32 every time, only for one day because we're playing scalps, day trades here. Label this as our put trigger. So now tomorrow, whether this opens up inside or maybe it's about to push up above this high, correct? As soon as the share price goes above that level, you'll be alerted. Depending on how you have your notifications set up, I usually have mine just sent to my phone, and it also alerts you on TradingView. So whether you're looking at the stock or not, maybe you're looking at SPY, and then you'll get an alert, oh, Snap is crossing above your call trigger level. So you would go to Snap, and then you would look for, if it's breaking above this level, our target would be right here at this dotted green line. So essentially how you play the strat. Using alerts basically helps you keep an eye on multiple stocks, and I try and only keep an eye at 3 to 4 stocks at a time at max, just because you want to be able to focus on your plan. You're making a plan for a reason. You don't want to abandon that plan. If it goes against your plan and you were wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a no play. And another thing I want to mention are gap ups and gap downs. So say we're trying to play Snap tomorrow, right? If the price opens above this high, say it just opens at 84, who knows what happens? Maybe they come out with some news or something, a deal that they have. We don't want to chase that. Our trigger entry is right here at 82. We can wait for it to possibly bounce off this as support, but sometimes it won't. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just essentially your risk level is higher at that point because our target was right here. So if it's opening above our target, well, we don't know where our next target might be. It could come back and test support at this low. We don't know that, so we don't want to play that. Thinkorswim does have alerts. I can kind of show you how to. I've never actually used Thinkorswim alerts, but I know you can do it. Right click, create alerts. So if it's snap you want to play, at or above, below, whatever you want it to alert you at, here's the price. You can put a note there and you can see it'll then show actually on the chart where your alert level is. And you want me to go over WYNN? Let's check that out. Alright, we can see it's not looking very good for this stock. We're at almost a year low, 67. Well, not that far off, but show you kind of how Fibonacci works, some levels to keep an eye on, even if we think it's reversing, right? These are levels we want to keep an eye on. So if this is our high and this is our floor, we could still use these levels. So right now we're right around the 78% Fibonacci level. We closed above it and we're right at the 9 EMA. I would look for a continuation upwards to the 61% Fibonacci. If we can get to the 61 Fibonacci, then we could assume that this is a new floor, right? So let me delete this Fibonacci. Now we would do it from here to this, assuming that this is the floor, right? So we would watch for a test of 23% fib at 94.10, and if that breaks, we're looking, and you can see right here we have a lot of consolidation and then the rejection at this 38% Fibonacci. So 103-ish is a key level to break if we want to see a true reversal, because we don't know for sure if this is reversing and this is a floor. It's likely that we could see a test to this 23% Fibonacci and go lower. And that would basically confirm that this is not a floor and there's more downside to come. If I were to look at when and kind of give my opinion on this, I'd say we want to break above this 9 EMA to show some bullish momentum. Let's check out the 4-hour chart. It's always good to look at different time frames and stuff too. I just don't want to spend too much time on one ticker. This is kind of just a test run. Sorry if it's a little rough. Bear with me. Like I said, I'm still getting all this stuff situated and getting used to it, so it's nice and clear for y'all in the future. So looking at the 4-hour, zoom in a little bit. We are actually right underneath the 50 EMA. So 4-hour is a little bit more of a shorter, I guess. So if you're looking at the daily chart, that action is going to take days to play out. If you're looking at the 4-hour chart, it's going to take 4 hours to play out, or for each candle, it's 4 hours, right? If you're looking at the 1-minute chart, the price action that you're looking for is going to take place intraday. So what, depending on the interval you're looking at, is going to basically tell you the time frame of the price action that you're expecting. So if we're able to break above this 50 EMA, I would look for a test the 100 EMA, and if we can break above that, I'd say we'd get a solid resistance at the 23% Fibonacci at 94.10. Who's to say if we'll get there? We don't know. Again, we have to react to price. So if we reject here at this 50 EMA, it's likely you'll see a test to the 9 EMA. That's about a $2 difference. You can definitely scalp that as a day trade and make some good money. I'm not sure exactly why you have this ticker in mind. I don't know if some news dropped for it, or maybe if you saw another person on Twitter talking about this stock. But that's probably all I'm going to do tonight. Like I said, I just wanted to do a test run and see kind of how you guys liked it. If this is something y'all want to see more often in the future. Next time I do this, I'll probably want to schedule a live stream, so basically I can let everyone know, like, hey, I'm going to make a live stream at this time, Central Time, and maybe we're going to go over some tickers, maybe we're going to do some options flow hunting, It's really up to y'all what y'all want to see me do. So hopefully this was helpful at least a little bit. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next live stream. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's night.